Hi, Jack. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Joyce. Thank you for
Good,
inviting me.
good. Yeah, thank you for coming and talking about Social Security stuff. Why don't you tell the viewers a little bit more about you and what you do?
Great. Yes, I can do that. My name is Jack Burns, and I work in public affairs for the Social Security Administration, which is the communications branch of the Social Security Administration. I've worked with the Social Security Administration for over 20 years. A lot of my career was in the service office, the local office that serves people when they need something. But over the last 8 or so years, I've worked in communications and I do regular workshops for the public. I interact with employers and different organizations throughout Arizona that have a need for Social Security information. And basically, we want to make sure people understand the benefit programs and how things work. And that's a good part of what I do here at my job.
Okay, great, great. All right, well, I'm going to get right into the first question. So, what should someone do if they get a call claiming there's a problem with their Social Security number or their Social Security account?
All right, it's a great question. And I would say if you were not expecting to hear from Social Security, hang up. That's the first thing you should do. And I know a lot of us have spam blocker or different types of blockers on our phones where we don't need to get that call to begin with. But if you find yourself on a phone call with someone claiming to be from Social Security and you have not requested anything recently and are not expecting that call, we would ask you simply to hang up. Social Security agents only call you if you have requested something and they're trying to get in touch with you to help you.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, one of the things we talk to people about, you mentioned spam blocker apps and stuff is silence unknown callers. So if they have that turned on, if the number's not in their contact list, then it won't even ring to their phone. It'll automatically go right to voicemail. So then they'll less tempted to answer it. Um, so what should someone do if they think someone is using their social security number?
Right. Great question. Great question. The first thing I always start with is what Social Security can help you with if you think your Social Security number has been compromised. And of course, most of us don't think of it this way, but our Social Security number is just one piece of our identity. We have our name, our date of birth, and lots of other identifying
Right.
information. But if your Social Security number you believe has been compromised, what Social Security can help you with is checking to make sure your record is accurate. And typically, what we're checking are your work earnings, because really
Okay.
that's the information that's important to Social Security to determine your benefits, whether you're currently receiving a benefit or whether you will someday. We're looking at your work earnings information, specifically work earnings where you paid FICA. Part of FICA is the Social Security tax, and that's what they look at to determine the amount of your benefit. So if you contact us, we'll want to review your earnings record with you, make sure that that information over time is accurate, that someone else has not reported or there haven't been reported earnings from someone else posted to your Social Security record. And we can make corrections if we need to. Typically, it's very rare that there would be earnings from another person posted to your Social Security record because of all the data matching and all of the security measures that are in place between your employer, IRS, and Social Security.
Got it. Okay. Does that change, like say with seniors, where they haven't worked in a long time, and they think someone might be using their social security number? Is that work kind of the same? Is that you'll look at recent history to see if there's recent activity with earnings and then they might say, I've been retired for 10 years, I haven't worked, and then that's the clue that someone's using it?
Right. Again, we would want to check their earnings record, whether they're working or not, and just make
Okay.
sure that it's accurate. We would review recent time frame since the point where they felt their Social Security number was compromised and look
Okay.
forward from that time. A couple of things to note there, though, with seniors specifically, if you're online doing things online already, what we highly recommend is that you register for your online account with Social Security. And so
Okay.
if you go to www.ssa.gov, you'll see right towards the top of the homepage where it says My Social Security. That's your My Social Security online account. if you've registered there, you can look at your earnings history, and you wouldn't have to necessarily call Social
Okay.
Security. You'd be able to be monitoring things there. And that online account does more than just allow you to review your earnings history. It also allows you to get an award letter to prove your monthly Social Security income, look at your payment history over time, what you've gotten from Social Security, and as would be timely this time of year, it allows you to look at your cost of living increase, which
Oh,
is not
okay.
on our topics today, Joyce. I know we weren't going to
Yep.
talk about that, but since it's that time of year where everyone's saying how much
Yep.
more will I get from Social Security, if you have an online account, you can actually check the message center and find out about your benefit increase even before you get it in the mail.
Got it. Okay. All right. Very good. Sounds like it's pretty easy to set up an online account. Um, you
It
just
should be
probably have
easy.
to have a username and a password and
It is typically fairly easy process. Not all of us will be successful because it's very secure and sensitive to every character that we enter when we try to register. We
okay.
just advise people if they're not able to register for some reason when they go through the normal process online, if they would call us. We have a national number, 800-772-1213.
Okay.
Here in Arizona, we would advise that the person try to make that phone call between 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. when
Oh,
there are
okay.
fewer calls coming from the other time zones. So that's a favorable time to call. But
Okay.
that 800-772-1213, it's Monday through Friday, except for federal holidays. And 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. is when I've heard from the people I work with that it's much easier to get through. And we can help with the online account registration process over the phone. Ultimately, if we're not able to help you by phone, if you visit us in person in an office, we'll give you an activation code to get your account started with just using the code. You won't have to go through the whole process.
Oh, okay. That's great. Well, that's great information. And to be able to call between 4 and 7 when you might not be sitting on the phone for an hour, maybe it's only 15 minutes or something. That's great information. So, does the Social Security send emails to the community, the public?
Great question. We first of all, we won't send you an email, and that's one of the ways scammers like to engage with people is email, as most people know.
Right.
They use phone calls, but also text and email. So if you're getting a contact from Social Security and you've never provided your email address to Social Security, of course, that's a dead giveaway that there's something
Right.
going on that's not Social Security. So when it comes to emails, if you have registered online with Social Security, or maybe you filed a benefit application and provided your email address, well then yes, we may communicate by email. For the online account, it'll be 3 months before your birthday each year. If you're not receiving benefits, that Social Security would communicate with you to ask you to review your earnings statement.
Got
Uh,
it.
Otherwise, if you're receiving benefits and you have an online account, periodically they will ask you to update your password. And so that
Okay.
is not on a specific annual time frame. It's a question of when you registered and when you last set your password, but they will communicate with you. And a thing to look for when you're getting an email from Social Security is the domain should be ssa.gov. So that last part of the email address that it's coming from will always be an indicator that it's coming from Social Security if it says ssa.gov. And I forgot to mention also, Joyce, that the requirements for an online account are an email address. So you will
Oh,
provide your
okay.
email address. There'll be email address, telephone number, mailing address, and of course, you must be at least 18 years of age to have that online account. And so all of those pieces of information are needed for an online account. And as I said, you're providing your email address for the online account. So yes, it makes sense that they would email you.
Right. Okay. Well, that's great to know that the domain, which is going to be after the at character, is ssa.gov. And we always tell people because scammers are very good about adding another period, or they might change a letter to a number or add a number, and you start to read it and your mind just automatically says ssa.gov, So we always tell them read each letter, each character, to make sure there's not, one taken away or there's something added or something changed. So you actually, and it's short enough that's just going to take a few seconds to read the ssa.gov. So that's really great. So for anybody that just needs help with anything Social Security related, what's the best way to get in touch with you guys?
Right. And I think we have been through the time period during the pandemic where we had to restrict visitors to our offices. And so now we are back to the what you would consider normal operating process where we can receive visitors with no appointment Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. in our local offices. However, and that's a very emphatic however, Social Security offices, because they have that no appointment walk-in visitor service, are very busy places. We would always encourage someone to call us first. Before they make the phone call, check on our website. There's a lot
Okay.
of information on our website. And if you have an online account, you have access to the most requested services. So the most popular services are part of the online account, where if you go into your account, you would be able to request an award letter, change your address, change banks. There's even a chat service that many of us
Oh,
have as part of our online account where you could chat with the Social Security agent, a live chat. And
okay.
if you're not finding what you need online, then we would certainly take your phone call again, that 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday at the national number 1-800-772-1213. And there is one more thing I wanted to mention, Joyce, as
Sure.
far as someone that might be in a situation where they think their Social Security number was compromised. They can certainly give us a call and review their earnings record to make sure that's doesn't have any discrepancies. They can certainly go online and check it there, which is probably easier for most of us. But there's also another resource that the federal government offers for someone that may be a victim of identity theft, and that's
Okay.
the Federal Trade Commission. So the
Uh,
website for the Federal Trade Commission is identity theft altogether.gov. And that's going to be, in many cases, a better resource overall for someone that's a victim of identity theft, since Social Security really only handles their record, and their record really will include the earnings history. And there's not a lot in those cases we can help someone with that has been a victim of ID theft. So
got it.
identitytheft.gov is the Federal Trade Commission website, and there's a wealth of resources and information that can help someone there.
Great. That's great information. I know when I put stuff out on social media, I do look at the Federal Trade Commission, their consumer alerts. They have some really great articles and a lot of great information. Um, all right. So, do you guys offer any like public workshops where the community can come to learn more?
I'm glad you asked, because we certainly do. So for the last, probably 7 or 8 years, we have worked with the Phoenix libraries.
Okay.
We work with other library, county and city libraries as well. But the main library we've worked with over the years is the Phoenix Public Library. So we offer a monthly live webinar workshop. Anyone can join that's
Okay.
interested. It's free to the public. It's a public service that we offer. And we typically cover people that are getting ready for retirement. Those questions are what we focus on. But anyone that has a Social Security question, whatever it may be, it could even be identity theft, something along those lines, is welcome to attend those. They are the second Tuesday of every month, and there's one
Okay.
coming up on the 13th of December, as a matter of fact, that we would love to have people join there. Again, the focus is on preparing for your retirement benefits, but Social Security handles not only retirement benefits, but benefits for someone that faces a disability. Survivors of a deceased worker can receive benefits. And so there are a lot of things related to Social Security that could come up that we would cover in that forum. And again, it's live, so someone can bring their question and ask it, and we'll be happy to answer.
Okay. So should they just call the library or go on the library's website and it should be listed there under events?
The Social Security live webinar workshop that we offer monthly at the Phoenix Public Libraries, you can register at phoenixpubliclibraries.org, and look under the events there. Under Social Security, you'll see a registration option there. Otherwise, you can call the Phoenix Public Libraries at 602-262-4636. That's 602-262-4636 to get to reserve a place for our workshop webinar.
Okay. All right. Well, Jack, this has been awesome. I know a lot of people have questions about Social Security, whether they're getting ready to retire, after they retire, especially with this cost of living adjustment, which I think this year is a little bit bigger than it normally has been. It's great to have all these resources that you guys provide to help people. Because I think that's the biggest hurdle is not knowing where to go to get help. And so, once they have this information and they know where they can go to get help, I think it takes a lot of stress off of the person, knowing that they're talking to the right people. So this has been great information, and I look forward to doing another conversation with you down the road, and we'll figure out what that topic's going to be.
Thanks, Joyce. I appreciate you inviting us.